Thinking about making a move to Peterborough, Ontario? Then hold on. You're gonna wanna hear about these 5 crucial things that you need to know before packing your bags to move here. So Peterborough might seem like the absolutely perfect place to relocate you and your family. But with every city, there comes some, well, important things, costs and quirks that you may not be aware of until you actually get here. My hope for this video is to educate you on the 5 things that you must know before making your decision to move your family here. First up, let's talk about cost of living. Did you know that Peterborough has some unexpected twists when it comes to the cost of living here in Peterborough? Before you sign any leases or mortgages, you're gonna wanna hear this. Community vibe. We're gonna be talking about the rural and urban areas of Peterborough. Is it going to be what you expect? We're gonna dive into the local schools. We're gonna have a look at the job market, local services, and, well, believe it or not, the internet and cell service. Whether you're moving for work, school, or just for a change of scenery, this video is gonna arm you with all of the tools you actually need to make an informed decision for you and your family. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you can be the first to get notified on all things living in Peterborough. Now remember, I am a local real estate agent right here in the city of Peterborough. If you need help relocating your family here, buying or selling is my jam. I am happy to help you get you and your family here. So first up, let's talk about the cost of living. That is what everyone wants to know and a lot of the reasons why people relocate to Peterborough. So as mentioned, Peterborough's housing market has some unexpected twists that have been happening the last few years here. So the average sale price for a house in June of 2024 was $626,000 with a few hundred and change, which, well, this is great. It was lower than the previous year, right? So you're probably wondering, Carrie, what's the big issue? So let's look at the average household income. This is where the issue lies. On average, the household combined income in Peterborough is around $72,000. So what did I say the average house price in Peterborough? $626,000. So to afford that housing price, you put 10% down for a down payment. With the mortgage rates what they are today, as of 2024, let's just say 5% and a 25-year amortization. So that's the length of your mortgage. To afford the average sale of a home in June, your household income would have to be about $131,000. Do you see the issue? So if you plan on moving here, I would look at your household income. Do you or your partner already have a job secured here? Do you know if you're gonna be able to afford a certain type of house here in Peterborough? These are all things you're going to want to look at because right now with the average house price of $626,000 and the average household income, they don't align here. So my advice to you is definitely secure a job or have a look at the job market before actually getting here. But what if I'm renting, Carrie? That is a question I always get asked. So this town actually has a college and a university. With that brings students. So for a 1-bedroom student house, it's roughly about $750, give or take a few $100 if you're just renting a room. So for a 1-bedroom apartment, you're ranging anywhere from $1,000 to $1,800. So that is a large chunk, again, that goes towards rent. So these are all things that you're going to want to think about before actually making the move to Peterborough. Another thing you're going to want to take into consideration when you are looking at houses, this is just a little side note, is the property tax. So if you're buying a house in Peterborough, the property taxes in the north end of Peterborough by Trent University are actually significantly higher than the south end or the Selwyn County. So you might see houses on the outskirts rural area of Peterborough that is priced a bit higher, but the property taxes will actually be a bit lower. So that's something also to consider where you want to put your money. Is it into the mortgage or is it into the property tax? Next, we have the community vibes here in Peterborough. So we do offer a very urban and rural mix here. While it offers a tight-knit community vibe, with that sometimes comes a slower paced atmosphere. So if you're used to that hustle and bustle of Toronto and you're looking to get out of there, this might be the perfect place for you. If Sunday drivers drive you absolutely crazy, you're probably gonna get that from Monday to Sunday here. So a slower paced atmosphere this might not be the town for you. So just keeping that in mind, it can be a pro and it can be a con. It just completely depends on what type of lifestyle you're looking for. I have noticed a lot of people who are moving out of the city are okay with that slower paced vibe, which is actually why they're moving to the city of Peterborough. So if that sounds like you, you'll enjoy it here. If not, well, turn the car around and head back to the city. So one thing I personally love about the community vibe here in Peterborough is I'm a super active outdoorsy person. We are literally minutes to trails, minute to the water for those boaters or canoers or anything to do with water sports. We have the canal, which is frozen at the wintertime to do ice fishing and skating. When I get asked what do I love about Peterborough most, so many amazing beaches only 10 minutes away. And then fishing, I mean, who doesn't love fishing? In the wintertime, you're able to skate on the canal. They have a rink downtown Peterborough to get the family out. So personally, I love all of the outdoor amenities that Peterborough has to offer. Only minutes from my house, minutes from downtown Peterborough, you can be on the water. And like I said, the negative about the community vibe here is that it is a slower pace. Sunday drivers are a real thing. Well, Peterborough has a pretty diverse employment range from education, healthcare, manufacturing. You'd be surprised to hear that it sometimes is a challenge to actually secure employment here in Peterborough. Finding that job that you love might become a bit of a challenge. The unemployment rate is getting better here in Peterborough. Most recently, I had a client move to Peterborough who is a veteran teacher. She has over 20 years of experience teaching preschool, high school, and she thought, you know what, I'm gonna have absolutely no issue getting a job. And she doesn't. However, we are a completely different school board, so with that, she now has to go back to supply teaching. She has to put 100 hours in before she gets on the preferred teachers list. Now you're probably thinking, that's actually not a big deal. What's the issue? She's getting a job. Well, with that, she actually is going to be, when you supply teach, she's not getting her full salary that she got before. So again, that's something she wishes she would have known before. There is no way I would have known that. I'm not a teacher. However, I'm sharing that information with you. If you are a teacher looking to move here, that's something that may be of value to you. Thankfully, she has set herself up financially moving from the city to here, so she is okay. Now, if you are moving here and you've already secured a job, amazing. If you work from home, also fantastic. During the pandemic, we actually saw a huge surge in people coming out of this city, working from home. I think that was a lot of places. So that's one reason why also our housing prices are going back down, because during the pandemic, they were so inflated that I'm a big believer in what goes up must come down a bit. So if you're watching this and you have children, schools are going to be your #1 concern. So I actually have done 2 previous videos on the elementary schools here and the 3 different school boards we have, and then also the high schools. So go check those videos out. I've linked, here's a picture of both of them. They're in my YouTube channel. Go check it out. So as a mom myself, I love all of the country schools and the school systems here, the outdoor education. I showed up one day to pick up my daughter from school, and outside they were doing a show and tell with a baby calf. I thought this was so amazing, so unique that you were able to bring in a farm animal and have that as a show and tell to all the kiddos. They absolutely loved it. I feel like that's something you wouldn't actually find in the city. I feel like the outdoor education, the farm life is a really big tool they offer here in the education system here in Kawartha Pine School District School Board, but again, that's just because Peterborough is such an active lifestyle community or country community, depends how you look at it. Okay, last but definitely not least, I find this one super important, as well as family members with no TV and only having a cell phone, the connectivity issues in Peterborough. So Peterborough is pretty hilly. With that comes dropped phone calls and terrible internet service. Now, I will say that it does come and go, and I find that since we've had an influx of people moving to the area, and so many people on the towers, the cell service isn't that great. I truthfully don't know if it works that way. I do find the internet not that great as well in our certain community. If between 8 a.m. and 9 p.m., it doesn't work as great between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. when everyone is at home and using the internet. Also not that great. So we personally have two different internet providers at home. We have Bell and then we have Starlink, just for when one actually doesn't work, because we rely solely on the internet for our work and businesses. That is super important to us. So this is something that you are going to want to look into if internet is really important to you, if cell service is very important to you, then I highly recommend checking that before moving to a property. But let's be clear, the cell service doesn't drop all the time. If you've reached out to me or you plan to reach out to me, very rare do I not answer my phone, but there is times I am driving in my car and my cell service is completely gone. So those are the top 5 things you must know before moving to Peterborough. If this has deterred you, I am happy that I was able to give you this information. If you are trucking forward and you think, hey, Carrie, I still want to move there, I'm happy to help you relocate you and your family here. I get texts, calls, emails from people just like yourself watching this video who needs help buying or selling in the city of Peterborough. Don't be afraid to reach out. Let's do a Zoom call. Now, until next time, ciao.